This is a sit down, and I'm here with Sara Bareilles and Gavin Creel, who are currently starring in Waitress on Broadway. Guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for that banging theme song.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the theme song, I can't take credit for it, but it's pretty banging, right?
It's hot.
You guys can add it to the show.
We're going to.
Yeah.
Make a mix.
That would be pretty exciting. I'd be pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
So you guys performed a few songs from Waitress together in London last fall, and now you guys are performing together. What does that feel like?
New, fresh, fun.
It's a toothpaste. It's so wonderful. I mean, we're like very close friends, obviously, and so it's a delight. And I started out as a fan of Gavin's,
Me
and
too.
so
Of me, of myself.
he loves himself.
me.
He loves
Great.
his work. And we just had we've been looking for the right opportunity to get to do something together, and then it's our third year of Waitress on Broadway, and so celebrating this big number 3 and our 3 productions. We have a tour, our London production, and our Broadway show. So we wanted to do something really big, and so me coming back into the show and bringing Gavin Creel, who is Broadway royalty, you are.
Okay.
You are. You left your crown in the
I did.
In the
I
green room, right?
don't bring it along.
Yeah.
It intimidates people.
So, Gavin, why did you want to become a part of this production?
I've been a fan of the show since I first heard the music that Sara wrote for the adaptation, and I knew Diane Paulus so well and love and respect her. We've worked together a couple times in Hair and a show up at ART called Prometheus Bound, and it's kind of like one of those shows that I've sort of been a stalking fan from the side, and I was at the opening night, and I've seen it like 8 times, and you just know that this music needs to be sung, and I wanted to be one of the people. I'm honored to get to be one of the people. Somewhere in the middle, I'll have been a dectapometer for a minute and pass it on to Joy McIntyre is coming in next.
Our first new kid.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, we're all very excited.
It's so exciting, but it's neat. It's a testament to the piece that these amazing casts, and the crew is amazing. The band is incredible, and most of them have been there from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's a testament to her and the music and the show.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. The music is so incredible. I saw Waitress, I think it was last November, and I was listening to the music for, I think, 3 months after that, just constantly. Sara, how did you go about composing the music for a show like this? It seems like such a daunting task.
It turns out it is. This was one of those things where you just had to stay focused on the task right in front of you, because looking at the mountain of work was absolutely overwhelming. So it just became this wonderful puzzle. It made me a newfound deep believer in this kind of collaboration. I've always done a lot of, not that I haven't had collaborative relationships in my artistic life, but as a songwriter, you tend to work on your own so much. But this musical theater in particular is so collaborative. Nobody's doing anything on their own. So, I would come up with the beginning of an idea, and then you present it to the team. You get feedback. There's a song in the show called "I Didn't Plan It." That's the big sort of show-stopping number for our character Becky at the top of Act 2. That I was like, I don't think this is good. I don't think I did it right. And then they were like, no, absolutely, stay with it. I would have thrown that song out and tried to find something else, but I'm so glad I didn't, because
So are we.
I had to
I love that song.
I do too, and I had to just trust my teammates in that. So it was really a one step at a time process, and just trying to tell the story of these beautiful characters that Adrian Shelley created, the filmmaker, writer of the film that we're adapting, and kind of trust that if we stayed true to the material, that it was going to kind of take a life of its own.
The show also has Broadway's first all-female creative team, which is so cool. Although I will say, kind of lame that this is the first. It should have happened a long time ago.
I know.
Is it a different experience working with all women?
I always say, so this wasn't a casting agenda. We were well into the life of the show when we sort of learned that fact about our team, which is part of what I feel the most proud of, is that we're just people. We're just people who were at the top of our fields that got brought together, and we were making this thing, and it wasn't about, not that there's anything wrong with doing something that is all women, for women, by women. I'm clearly a feminist and believe in that movement very deeply. But what my hope for our movement is that we get to the point where it's really not about gender at all. It's just about people who are, beautiful artists in whatever way, shape, or form they take, and that we get beyond the. We always talk about it with friends. It's like you would never describe it. You get like an all-girl band or something. They're just people. They're musicians before they're women. And so, I think that's a part of the conversation that deserves another layer of evolution. But I feel I'm proud to have worked with all these wonderful people, and we made something I think is proving to sort of stand the test of time at this point. It's awesome.
Gavin, so you won a Tony for your role in Hello, Dolly, opposite Bette Midler. What was it like working with such a legend?
It's just incredible. I got to work with sort of three legends, Bette Midler and Bernadette Peters and Donna Murphy, all in the role. And but Bette, I was like a childhood freak for Bette.
Yeah.
Were you as well?
Oh, yeah.
I just loved. I mean, I think I could recite every line and every song in Beaches from start to finish. But working with her, I think you think you're going to get one thing with her, and then what you end up actually getting, she thinks she's going to be funny and raucous and wild, and she is the hardest working person I've ever met in my life. She would read this entire script every single day before the show. Like by the end, I came in and it was like ratted, yellowed pages with like, she would make notes. And I thought, give it up. Like, you got it. You've done it for a year. You won the Tony. Like, everybody, you're a mega, and that's the kind of student of the art that she is. She's never stopped working. The last week, she was like, I got this idea. I think we can make this moment funnier. I was like, you're leaving. It's over. I stopped thinking about what the heck I'm doing on stage like months ago.
Sarah, you recently posted that you are so close to finishing a new album. Everyone wants new music from you. I know you're busy on Waitress.
Yeah.
Is new music coming out? Can you give us a hint?
Yeah, I've been open about that. Yeah, record's done. It'll come out next year, or this year. I've been saying next year for the last few months.
This year,
yeah. It'll be out early this year, and recorded it in Los Angeles with T-Bone Burnett, and it's basically what the last couple of years have felt like being in the world, and. Yeah, I haven't shared the title yet. It'll come out soon. This record, for me, is about big themes, and I think in the last 5 years of my life, I've really sort of deepened my relationship to activism and advocacy, and wanting to talk about bigger themes than just my own heartbreak. Now, there is some of that as well on the record, but I think, as a songwriter and an artist right now, in the way the political climate feels and our sort of cultural evolution, it feels important to talk about deeper subject matter. So that's what's on this record.
I feel like that's how a lot of people are feeling right now.
Yeah, and I think as an artist, I feel really lucky that I have an outlet to sort of put my feelings. It's an intense time. I feel really lucky to be alive. How lucky we are to be alive right now. Oh, thank you, Lynn.
I'm just gonna tattle that I didn't hear the final versions, but I heard like 5 or 6 demos in last year at some point. Yeah. And I spent most of my time just running around in my underwear going, it's unbelievable.
Can we roll that clip?
Oh, me dancing in my underwear? Here we go.
And we have that clip now.
Oh, God, no.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on and talking about all this amazing stuff you have going on. You can see Sara and Gavin in Waitress on Broadway until February 3rd. And up next, more AM to DM.